What's going on, everyone? So one of the mishaps that the Lakers had was not taking Cam Whitmore when he was on the board, right? They went and took Jalen Hood Schifino. A lot of people are upset about that. Obviously, there's still a lot that could play out, but Jalen Hood Schifino at this point does look like he's on his way out, whether it's via trade or the Lakers just let him walk in the offseason, which is very unfortunate because they really could use a guy like Cam Whitmore. Right? Cam Whitmore, don't get me wrong, has had his struggles. He has moments where he looks terrible. He has moments where he looks really good and brilliant, too. He has moments where you see that potential all-star caliber guy that is just a hyper athlete, versatile on both sides of the basketball, long, lengthy, athletic, right? Like, you see the promise in him. I mean, this was a guy that was supposed to be a top 10 draft pick at worst. I mean, you go mini moons before that. He was projected to be as far as number 1 overall, and then just off-court issues, just, his even on-court antics at times. Like, he just developed the stigma around him. And here's the thing. The Houston Rockets are now dealing with that. So Cam Whitmore has not looked very good. Supposedly, he's pushing Jalen Green in the back and ignoring players, and he's just throwing a fit because he's not playing. And they don't really have spots for him. And he was playing in the G League. He's been in and out of the lineup. One game he's playing, the next game he's not. And he just can't get any level of consistency. And part of that is Houston's really good. They have 15 guys that play his role, right? That are just as good, if not better, that they would rather have. If I'm the Lakers, I'm looking at this and I'm going, let's go have a talk, right? I'm picking up the phone and being like, hey, what do you want? What about Jalen Hood Schifino just for expiring contracts, right? Just the salary dump, just so you don't have to take on long-term salary. Because I know people go, what would they do? It's expiring contracts. You don't have to take on long-term salary. I mean, it could be Christian Wood. It could be any of these guys, right? Point is, hey, we'll give you a Jalen Hood Schifino for expiring reasons. So that way you can let him clear off your books at the end of the year. And a second or two, maybe 2 seconds, right? Because he would be everything the Lakers need. And he is young. And, I mean, Max Christie I'm incredibly high on for the future. Cam Whitmore has all the star tools. Not saying he will be a star, right? But he has all those star tools. The problem is his attitude. The problem is the on and off court antics. LA might not be the best place for that, for being honest, right? LA might not be the best place for him to kind of stay out of trouble and, keep his head on straight. But I do think being around guys like JJ Redick, who's no nonsense, no BS, get in your grill, having veterans like LeBron James and Anthony Davis that you can learn for and mentor and respect and all that. Because Cam Whitmore, you got to understand, Cam Whitmore's probably looking at half the roster on the Houston Rockets and going I'm better than all of these guys, right? Tari Eason and all these guys, I'm better than these guys. So he's probably looking at it as I'm playing behind all these scrubs and I'm barely getting burned, right? Get me out of here. Where on the Lakers, yes, he'd probably play 15, 20 minutes, but he would be the future, right? So that's the difference, right? In Houston, there's no guarantee he's the future. They have, again, 15 guys that play his role. He's either leaving at some point or they're trading him at some point. So to me, if I'm Rob Pelinka, why not make the call and just try to rip off the Band-Aid? Right? Why not try to work some out? Or maybe do a pick swap or something. And I know people would be really upset because it's oh, you could have just drafted him, now you had to trade for him. It sucks. Mistakes happen. Things happen. If you can correct it, correct it. Especially if you can still go make all your moves and all your trades and everything that you need to do. Right? Who cares? If he becomes what we need him to become, then it's all worth it. Even if we had to give up a first, if he becomes an all-star caliber player or, a 25-point-a-game guy or whatever, then that works. But even right now, because I wouldn't expect him to be that right now. But right now, he gives us what we need. Athleticism, rebounding, versatility, scoring, shooting, right? Athleticism at essentially 2 through 4 spot because he is tall and lengthy, right? And hyper athletic. He is everything this team needs. But according to kind of the red flags that have I've seen going around. Supposedly, he hasn't been celebrating with the team on the bench. Jalen Green was telling Tari Eason how Cam pushed him, and he pushed him back, stormed off the court and bumps Tari after the game. Was it last night or 2 nights ago? Or no, yeah, last night. After that game, he pulled off his jersey and just started walking towards the tunnel and just ignored everybody and supposedly gave a little like nudge, gave a little bump. That's what they're talking about. Just saying, I mean, he's 20 years old, right? I mean, just for a second, bear with me for a second. Imagine having Max Christie, who's 21, and Cam Whitmore, who's 20, as your foundation at the 2 and the 3. We've already seen Max Christie be a legit 3-and-D 2 guard, right? Like legit, like can defend pretty much anybody. I mean, he put Ja in purgatory, right? Like that dude was in HE double hockey sticks, right? Try to keep it family friendly, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the fact that, you know, he's been able to do that. He's only going to get better. He's only going to improve. He's only going to become natural. And then you go get a guy like a Cam Whitmore, who, again, hyper athlete, was originally projected to be a top 10 talent that could slot in. You still have Dalton Connect, right, who could be that sharpshooter, be that guy for you off the bench. I mean, it'd be a nice young core, right? And then if they go and get like a Dayron Sharp or something like that, you could have like your core and foundation for the future, which would be nice. And again, Cam Whitmore being 6'7", 6'8", you could slot. I mean, worst case, you could always slot. Like, say Dalton Connect really becomes that guy, right? Well, then you'd have like Max Christie, Dalton Connect, and Cam Whitmore. Just need to get a center and a point guard. I know every time I talk about this, people are like, well, what about Austin Reeves? I mean, you're talking like 3 or 4 years from now, right? Austin Reeves might not even be on this team. Supposedly, once LeBron leaves, he's getting out. And at some point, he's going to be worth too much money, right? Right now, he's valued. But at some point, he's going to want and demand probably 25 to 30 plus million. And I don't know if he's worth paying that, especially if you get like a Cam Whitmore and Max Christie continues to evolve the way that you need to, because you're going to need money to pay those guys. So things you got to keep in mind. But again, Cam Whitmore, 20 years old, can play small forward, power forward is what he's listed at. Again, 6'7", 6'8". Like I said, hyper athlete, a guy that can jump through the roof. So this season, he has played in 18 games, averaging 14.8 minutes, so 15 minutes per game, shooting 44.5% from the field on 8.1 field goal attempts. He is shooting an abysmal right now, 29.2% from three-point range. But last year, his rookie year, he took more attempts from three and was 36%. Right? He also has been kind of checked out a good majority. Like, because again, he's all over the place. Basically, Houston's doing to Cam Whitmore what Darvin Ham did to Max Christie. And we see now how that turned out, right? Like what Max Christie's been able to do now that he actually gets a role, actually gets an opportunity. Cam Whitmore, I think you could justify, especially if you're trading like a Rui Hachimura, some of these other guys. Plus, Cam Whitmore's so cheap, you can get him, and we'll talk about that here in a moment. But again, from 2-point range on 4.5 attempts this season, shooting 56.8%. He has an EFG of 51%. Foul line, he's shooting 76% from the foul line on 1.6 attempts. He's averaging 2.7 rebounds, half an assist, half a steal, half a block, and 9.5 points. And again, very limited play, very limited production, and in a very limited role, and inconsistent role too, is something else you have to keep in mind. So, I mean, this is a guy that just, it's circumstances, right? It's tough. It sucks for him. But that's the reality. That's the state that he's in now, right? But how does his contract look? How does his contract shape up? Well, this season he's making $3.3 million. Let's call it $3.4 million. Next year, again, another club option, or he has 2 club options coming up. He'll be 3.5 and then 5.4. So you can literally get him for like Christian Wood. So if they don't want Jalen Hood Schifino, or say you use Jalen Hood Schifino in another move, another trade, well, guess what? We could just slot in a Christian Wood and still get the deal done, right? And get that done, make that swap, whatever you got to do. Pick, like, if you say you still want to hold your seconds to go get a Vucevic or something like that, I wouldn't mind a pick swap, because you're not actually giving up like an asset, right? It's just like a swap. right? So you still have a first that year, just which one is worse, right? So I don't hate that move. I don't hate that idea. And then, but you're getting in a piece for now in the future. No one's giving up a first for Cam Whitmore, and he might throw tantrums until they have no choice but to trade him. If I'm Rob, I'm looking, at least exploring, right? At least do your due diligence, pick up the phone, and just be like, hey, where are you at on Cam Whitmore? Right? We believe that, we got the veterans and stuff like that. We got the coach staff. We got the infrastructure now. We trust and believe that we can get this done. Worst case scenario, doesn't work out. You can just let him go in 2 years, right? Like, it's fine. So I think it's worth it. I think the Lakers should at least explore it. I think it's something the Lakers should consider. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you think, like, yes, try to go get Cam Whitmore, at least have the conversation? Do you think, no, stay as away from Cam Whitmore as possible, right? With all the on-court, off-court antics, just not worth it. However you feel, whatever your thoughts are. Either way, I'd love to hear it, so let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot, so we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.